The history of the company is that we have a core competence in power semiconductors, which started back in the 50s. That evolved into semiconductors, including IGBTs, which is the core technology behind the drives. In 2009, we started to establish the Fuji Electric brand on its own, and today we operate 3 manufacturing sites to support the global demand for Fuji Electric drives. We've manufactured over 11 million drives to date. In addition to the product part of that, the next part of that is building out regional engineering centers, again, around the globe, Asia, Europe, the US. Many people in the AC drives industry rely on the Fuji Electric semiconductors to support their own drives. So, I mean, it's the sweet spot, the cornerstone of the company. So we're committed. We have a full lineup of drives known for our performance, reliability, ease of use, and overall functionality. We start with a micro drive or mini drive, and that's really compact size, but it has general purpose functionality. Moving up through the product family, the next one would be the multi-drive, which is a high-performance compact drive, which includes some algorithms for advanced motor control. The next drive would be the Echo, which is really geared for applications in HVAC and water and pump. So there's some specific algorithms in there that focus on energy savings and some process control functions related to those applications. The core of the line is really the Mega, which is a multi-function general purpose drive that really is the centerpiece of the line, known for its high performance. It has advanced control algorithms for motor control, et cetera. And then we move up to the VG, which is a systems drive, which would be for sophisticated applications for such things as coordinated drive control of multi-drives and applications such as web handling and things like that. We operate on our own 3 warehouses in the US with significant inventory. In the past year, we expanded to use our Edison, New Jersey warehouse, so now we have another large warehouse on the East Coast. So from a supply standpoint today, really the primary points of supply are either Edison, New Jersey or Fremont, California, with some of the high volume inventory still staying in Long Beach, California, where it's landed and then warehoused. We've been able to meet deliveries via we can FedEx or whatever a drive, but having the warehouse closer to the customer allows us to do that more effectively in even shorter time. We've cut our delivery by 2 or 3 days. The other thing that drives response time is just the application itself. So if you take irrigation in California, they don't know how deep they're going until they're there. So they may think they need a 200 horsepower drive, and by the time they hit water, they need a 250 or a 300. Well, now they need that drive immediately. They need that drive within 2 weeks. So delivery is extremely important, and a lot of that, as I said, is driven by the nature of the marketplace. Fuji Electric offers a full range of both pre-sales and post-sales support. We start with our own pre-sales support, which is available primarily from an application standpoint and product standpoint, is available primarily over the phone. We also support that effort with the things that we offer on the internet as well. From a post-sales standpoint or after-sales service standpoint, we offer a full range of services from technical support of the product if you call up on a phone line to on-site service 24/7. In addition to our own resources, again, we're building out a full geographic model of authorized third-party service providers who can provide truly local support to be on site within a matter of a couple of hours. Fuji Electric offers the full range of training tools and support, from our in-person instructor-led training, classroom-type training, to the tools that we put on the web, including our manuals, webinars online that you can download. And we help them select the drive, size the drive, get the right part number, all that stuff so they can order the drive. We provide engineering support on the phone. We have reps and distributors who we train. We have our own tech support 24/7. We have on-site service. Those are the Fuji Electric resources. You need to have local support. The point is we'll get on site in a timely manner. So this is kind of the mix of, not just the product, but the total support that the customer expects, so they get the right product, with the right support in order to be successful in their application. Fuji Electric is really well known in the industry for its quality and reliability. Our warranty failure rate is less than 0.5%. So that allows us to offer a 3-year warranty to back up the product. You know, the product itself, or the product's families themselves, are designed with the reliability and serviceability and total cost of ownership in mind. One of the primary things that would fail on a drive is the onboard fan that cools the drive itself. That, in our case, that fan has a design life of 10 years, but it's also field replaceable, which is, again, a differentiator for Fuji. When a drive reaches the end of its natural life cycle, those parts are easily replaceable in the field without uninstalling the drive and everything. So that leads to more uptime, less downtime, lower total cost of ownership. From a current family standpoint, we're in the process of launching our new HVAC drive into the marketplace. Part of that drive family, and then broadened out the rest of our drive family, will be the expansion of our offerings to include 575 and 690 volts to service the North American market. We're also working on expanding the communication protocols that we support, Ethernet IP, Profinet, CAN Open, et cetera. So in some of the building automation networks that are required to support the building automation applications. We're in the process of launching the new mini drive, which will include the ability to control permanent magnet motors, which is something that's becoming quite popular today in a number of applications with the OEMs. The centerpiece that drives a lot of our development is to increase the functionality of the drive in terms of its ability to solve, I'll say, not just control the drive, but control the process around the drive, things around the drive, you know, temperature control and things like that. So that can be referred to as PLC functionality. Also, we have customizable logic that allows you to write custom algorithms, and we're working to have more easily customizable firmware for specific applications. If the drive fails, the motor is spinning, it's attached to something. If it's a fan or a pump, that's going to continue to move or have what you would call a catastrophic failure, which means, you know, things are breaking. So again, from a total cost of ownership standpoint, the customer doesn't want the motor destroyed. The customer doesn't want the fan destroyed, right? So the customer wants what I would call graceful degradation, which means that the drive will shut itself down or shut the process down. The thing about the drive business is that it's really kind of a value engineered solution. So at any given point, you don't want any fewer functions or any more functions than you really need to have, right? Because the customer is looking to solve a specific application with a specific feature set at a specific price point. So if you are over-featured or under-featured, then you won't be at the right value proposition. So if you were to look at the drives industry, you would be taken back by the breadth of applications and places that a drive is applied. Everything from a fan or a water pump to a machine to a conveyor belt. And in each of those applications, there's a desired functional feature set of the product. People don't want to pay for features they're not going to use. They don't want to buy a drive that doesn't have the features that they need. To be a global supplier in this business, to get to the price points, to provide the value proposition, you have to have scale. And so we have scale. The drive is to design, I'll say, a world drive that has the core technology needed for the drive for any region in the world. And then to build that drive in one of the 3 plants today, and then build out strong engineering centers on a regional basis. So today we have an engineering center in China. We have one in Asia for the Asian market outside of China. We have one in Europe. We're building up the one in the US and the Virginias today, so that we can do what's called late point modification. So you take a core drive that's built in a high production plant so that it's built to the cost structure that's needed to be competitive in the marketplace on a global basis. And then you customize that from a regional standpoint as needed within the region and do what we call late point modification to the drive, whether that's flash the firmware or some other options. If you look at the total product concept, you start with the core drive. You may have to modify that drive slightly for large OEMs, brand label agreements. You have to put it in a panel, That panel might be a standard panel or it might be a custom panel. And to build out the supply chain from the factory to the customer's installed drive, and that's the challenge that we face on a global basis and how we're going about addressing it. So if you're looking at who owns the technology, who has the technology, who's going to have the technology, who's going to have the strategy, who's really trying to address it long term, who's going to be here, I think Fuji's on the list, right? So that, to me, I think if you're looking at a message, I don't think, if I was sitting with other drive manufacturers, those are the challenges. And if you go to the global drive meetings, that's the challenge. How do you build a drive cost effectively and then feature it out on a regional basis and supply the market in a timely manner? And you have to have scale to do that, and it has to be important to you. And it's important to Fuji. If you go to other companies, they're brand labeling somebody else's drive, or they're manufacturing for somebody else to brand label. So so I think we're a player now and going forward. We go back. It's our core competence: power semiconductor, power electronics, IGBTs, et cetera. The drive is the natural extension of that. We will be in this market. We have the scale, we have the investment, we have the history, we have a vision. We'll be in this market going forward. The AC drive, variable frequency drive, inverter, whatever you want to call it, that market is core to Fuji Electric's heritage, and it's core to Fuji Electric's future. We'll be a player, well into the future.